to say. So, and Lieutenant Habib.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm Lieutenant Habib, San Jose PD. I'm here representing Captain Torres. I'm the lieutenant of the Western Division on swing shift, so from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m.
All right. I believe I touched on everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. Oh, we got a couple people in the waiting room coming in. One thing we always do out of respect for Captain Torres, and we obviously will extend Lieutenant Habib the same thing, is that given that they have obviously something far more important that they could probably be doing with their time than listening to us, I always shuffle the schedule to let SJPD go first if they have any announcements or questions. So was there anything specific you wanted to mention, Lieutenant, or would you be willing to potentially answer some questions from the neighbors?
Oh yeah, I can answer some questions. I did have a list of things that Captain Torres had as far as just letting you all know.
No, the floor is yours then.
Okay. So we did. I don't know if he mentioned the most recent officer involved shootings that we had. There was one where 2 officers were struck by gunfire, and then there was another. That was a couple weeks ago. One of the officers was actually pretty seriously injured. He's in the hospital now, but he's recovering, and he's expected to make a full recovery over some time. And then we had one, I think on Sunday or Monday. It was Sunday. Over on the east side, the officers were shot at, and luckily no one was hit. But I think in the past 18 months, we've had 15 officers that were shot at and 5 struck by gunfire. So it's a pretty kind of tense time out there on the streets. We did have a shift change recently, so you've got a brand new group of officers working out there. So please be patient with us and giving them time to get acclimated with the area, and hopefully, if there's any issues that do come up, please pass them along to myself or Captain Torres, and we can pass them along to the new teams. Let's see. Oh, I guess there was a homeless person over at the Safeway. Does anyone know about that? The Safeway off, I want to say Meridian.
I was waiting for Chris to chime in on that one.
I'm the person that usually brings that up. It seems that since the last meeting, I know I got some communication from Captain Torres that there was some, action taken, and actually I haven't seen the encampment has been gone for several, or at least a few weeks now, which is as long as I've seen it gone. So
oh, that's
I
great.
think that's good. Hopefully that person accepted some services and is in a better place.
Oh.
And the bus stop is, of course, looking much better and not full of trash and everything. So I don't know if you have anything more to add to that, but.
Oh, no, that's it. He was going to update that. We had a team kind of come by and try to remove the person, and it sounded like they came back and they removed them again. So hopefully that problem's gone now.
Yeah, I think the person may still be living in a car right there, but they seem to be at least now deterred from, taking over that area again.
Okay.
Just FYI for information for you guys.
All right, I think I got my video working. But,
yep.
All right, and then let's see. I guess Mango's has been an issue. That little restaurant over off of the Alameda, and looks like we did have that stabbing incident that happened, I think, last month, and they ended up, because I guess they're running this illicit kind of nightclub after hours. They racked up a pretty significant administrative fine in the several thousands of dollars. Our department did meet with the owners of the property last month, and they're not pleased at what is happening there. So it sounds like they're going to be looking at the relationship between the owner and the tenants there. For staffing, we have 24 graduating the academy this Friday. And we have 37 that are going to be still in the academy, kind of the senior class. And then in June, we're going to have about mid-30s. So we have a kind of a steady number coming out, not as much as we'd like to see, but we've got new officers coming out every few months, which is good for us. It's just to kind of backfill the retirements. And that is all I have, unless someone has any questions.
Sorry. All right, any comments or questions for the lieutenant? Let me unpin the lieutenant quickly so I can see everybody.
I don't know if there's any update on the activity. Mr. Torres, he would often give an update on the crime stats on the Alameda. And I know there was a recent event where somebody there was a battered person out in front of the Arena Hotel, and there was a lot of police presence there. And I don't know if you have any information on that, or
Do you have a date for
May 2nd.
May 2nd?
Yeah.
All right, let me look into that while this meeting is going on. Try to find out, because
we appreciate it. That's one of the things the captain has always said is I may not be able to give the answer right away, but I'll look it up and I'll get the data and I will get back to you. I mean, as kind of hyper organized as he is, kind of a data and additional info is something that he always. Yes, that was the day of the community advisory committee meeting, and kind of that was when everyone was informed of what had happened. And by the end of the CAC meeting, there were either 5 or 6 units outside Westminster Presbyterian, and then about 3 times that many units ended up outside the Arena Hotel. 15 minutes later.
Okay, I believe that was a barricaded subject. It did resolve peacefully, but I believe it was over a domestic dispute. Let me double check. That's ages ago. Let me double check.
Yeah, I believe that the barricaded suspect was the person. One of the residents of the Arena Hotel brought the alleged battery victim to the CAC meeting, and that's when Captain Torres and Officer Lopez, I think, heard about it and acted from there. And when they went to the Arena Hotel to address the concerns, that's when he barricaded himself in the room, and it escalated from there.
Yeah, it did end up, they did negotiate with that. I remember that event. They did negotiate with them and it ended up peacefully. I think it took a little bit of time though, in order for them to get him to come out. But yeah, I think he had screwed the doors, like he screwed the doors shut, so he wouldn't be able to get into.
Goodness. Other comments or questions for the lieutenant? And obviously, the one thing we always like to mention, obviously, especially with what's been happening recently, Lieutenant, is obviously please do everything you can for you and the rest of your officers to keep yourself safe. To call what you do a thankless task is a woeful understatement, but it's something that we're all very thankful that you're out there doing.
Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
I see Bob Walker's hand physically raised.
Go ahead, Bob. Do you have a comment or question?
Am I unmuted now?
There you go, Bob. You're all good.
Okay. My question is, when these guys are graduating from the academy lately, are they still staying in San Jose, or are a lot of them leaving like they used to do?
Yes and no. We do have a lot of people. The majority do stay, but we do have a number that do leave because usually, from what I hear, this is anecdotally, but this is the standard of the cost of living in San Jose is pretty high. So
can't you make it a requirement if they go to the academy there that they have to spend so many years in San Jose before they can leave?
I believe that has been tried in LAPD tried that a while back, where they tried to do kind of like a clawback for people that didn't stay. I think for them it was like 5 years but they ended up fighting that in court and winning.
Hmm. So you can't make them pay the money back, at least if they leave, huh?
Yeah, we can't.
Mm.
And I mean, and what we really would like to do is, I think we have a really great department that we work for. I actually left and worked for Santa Clara and came back because of how much I missed it here. And I think it's just a matter of keeping the culture going. We can only control what we control it as far as like internally in the police department, and as far as like kind of salary and cost of living and housing, there's really not much we can do. We just try to kind of keep people here by being the best department that I think anyone can work for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions for the lieutenant? Not seeing any. I'll give you, Lieutenant, the same comment that I give to the captain, which is feel free to turn and run, because we've got lots of other things that we'll discuss. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and bolt, or obviously if you have something more important to be doing, we will 100% understand. But obviously, thank you for your service, and if you want to stay around, feel free. The captain did email a couple hours ago to point out that his schedule had changed, and that's something that I always point out at the beginning of the board meetings, that especially because I think Wednesday is the first day of his shift, that as the captain of Western Division, there is always the chance that will happen. We have been disproportionately lucky that he almost always has been able to be here. And for those also that have comments or questions for the captain, next Thursday is a week from tomorrow, the Community Advisory Committee meeting at Westminster Presbyterian Church. Officer Lopez and the captain are usually present there as well. So with that, thank you for your service, and obviously, as I mentioned before, reiterate, please, we hope that you and the rest of the officers can stay safe out there.